What's up? Merlin is playing Starfield, continuing on with UC Questline, Legacy Forge. Speak to Ve Victus. And I'm still frostbitten with lung damage, but that should heal itself eventually. See, frostbite cured. Gotta love the perks.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, did you find what you were looking? Now what in the heavens would make you claim some? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attack. Perhaps I can convince you to keep... You know you want to hear the words then. I did it. The terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti. New Atlant. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you... You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found. But we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport. Fixing two problems at once. Halting and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Easy to say now. But at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? No. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser. And cement my new position of influence. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. The pilot. The man It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being low, they wanted to pretend I didn't exist. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but dropped off at just the right moments. Slow work. There are no heroes without a villain. And we all... It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the cabin. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? With only the vague hope I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge. And let's not forget the important. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the cabinet. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlez, after all. I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good work.
See the long list of threats, that makes me interested and have more targets to kill.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Aciles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus? I knew it. Why? Did he say why he did it? It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything... Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the...
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant. And then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point. Aciles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Aciles, we're at least dealing with known risk. It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is... But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be. Then here we go.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
Welcome back, all of you. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that record. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a look?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered, we failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vevictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. But I will note your request when... Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never... As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant...
A sound decision, Madam President.
I'm glad you think so. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes.
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh.
I see. Captain, I know this...
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
And Major Sinan?
I was muted. So, I'm choosing the Aciles creatures because nature fixes itself. So that's what I'm going with, nature.
Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you 3 the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
There we go.
Spacers, scumbags,
All right.
and scavengers. They're like vultures, picking away.
Oh, crap. I gotta talk to who now?
Leftovers of the colony war. You'll find them.
Tuala, Thule, whatever. T-Dog. T-Dog. Oh, crap. Alright, oh, jeez. Where is T-Dog? Oh, the port's that way, so...
Another day?
Informed us of your new status. Congratulations on making Class 1.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make... But, with all that squared, there are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Suppose that's transferring that to you. You're authorized to use whatever force required. Critter cleanup. You ready to head out? Let's get to the detail. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colonies craft. You're cleared to use lethal force if necessary.
Oh, cool. So then I get these ones too. Nice. Alright. Well, I'm going to call the episode, and please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll be playing this again. Probably doing the Freestar Collective next, but we'll see what happens.